G'day mate, welcome back to the channel. I'm FPL Root and welcome back to another FPL video. So in today's video I'm going to be going through my free hit for game week 34. So it is a double game week and I am activating my free hit as well. So this is a team that I could potentially be going for. I'll talk through a few options as well, whether we should be targeting some teams and maybe not targeting other teams, and then overall look at the 11, look at the first sub, and see how we're going to get on. If you are new to the channel, please make sure you do subscribe and smash a like on this video too. Let's get into it.
Yo, listen up, Rue is stepping up the game, where fantasy Premier League runs in his veins. From transfers to captains, he's always on top, guiding you through every game week non-stop. They say Rue got that Salah flow. Welcome to the channel, enjoy the show. Wild cards, free hits with so much vibe. If you're hunting for success, then make sure you subscribe.
So next up, we've got the goalkeepers and defence. We'll start off with the goalkeepers though. So it was a pretty tough decision. We've got Pickford and Henderson. So Pickford obviously plays for Everton, who have 2 home games, Forest at home and Liverpool at home. And then Henderson has plays for Crystal Palace and has 2 home games as well, Newcastle and West Ham at home. So I'd say Henderson, Crystal Palace have the better fixtures. I think West Ham and Newcastle as a double are better than Liverpool and Forest, because I definitely can't see Pickford keeping a clean sheet against Liverpool. Albeit as a derby, anything can happen. Everton are going to want to stop them from winning the league, and they're fighting for their lives as well. So you could see that, but for me, I think Forest at home is probably the only chance that Pickford can get a clean sheet in. Henderson, on the other hand, I think he potentially could keep a clean sheet against both, but I think it's more likely against West Ham. I think Newcastle just scoring 4 against Spurs. Isak in very good form, albeit he is better at home, and this is going to be away from home for Newcastle. But I still think Newcastle will score in that game, but you could argue that he does have a better chance over the 2 games of keeping a clean sheet over Pickford. However, having said that, in terms of what teams are better defensively, so in terms of goals conceded, Crystal Palace have conceded 54 goals this season, and then Everton have only conceded 42 goals this season. So they're actually 4th best in the whole league. The only teams above them are Manchester City, Liverpool and Arsenal. Albeit there is a big gap between Everton and Man City, 10, but they're still the 4th best defence in terms of goals conceded this season. So there is an argument to go for Pickford, and Pickford is actually the highest scoring goalkeeper this season. So he does get save points, etc. But for me, I think just because of the fixtures, I'm going to go for Henderson in goal. Defensively, pretty straightforward, to be honest, compared to I think the rest of the team. So I wanted a Liverpool defender, I wanted an Arsenal defender, and then the third spot was a bit tricky, but we'll talk about that first. So Virgil van Dijk, I've gone for. Trent is an option because I think he will play one of the games, but for me, there's no point bringing him in because you might as well bring in a single game week player. And for me, I think Virgil will play both, and there is potential clean sheet for both games. Not the easiest games. Fulham have beaten some good teams this season, and they've beaten some bad teams as well, to be honest, like Man United. But Everton away, obviously, and then Fulham away as well. I can definitely see a clean sheet in one of them, and Virgil's always a threat from set pieces, and I think having that Liverpool cover is the right thing to do in this double game week. 2 goals, 2 assists for him this season, which works out, I guess, about average. He's probably due another goal, another assist this season. Hopefully he can do that in the double game week if I do end up having him in my team. To be honest, I do think he is a lock, but who knows if Trent does play. So this has been filmed before the Crystal Palace game in game week 33, but if he does play in that, then there is an argument to say bring in Trent, but for now, I think I'd rather stick with Virgil and go for the safer option, because even if Trent does play, I think Bradley could play one of the games in that double game week. Next up, Arsenal defender. So I've gone for Gabriel. There is, again, this has been filmed before the Villa game, but there is talk of him not playing that game. But I think he should be back by the next week. If he's not, you could go for Saliba, Ben White, etc. It'll be an easy switch, but I've gone for Gabriel because Arsenal's defence is very good. It is the best in the league. They've only conceded 24 goals this season. Yes, it's not the easiest double game week. Villa away, Chelsea at home. But their defence is so good that I think you just got to have at least one in there, and people that are not playing their free hit will have an Arsenal defender, at least one. So I think it gives a chance to kind of block that and not lose ground on people that are not playing their free hit. So next up, we've got Out Nori, so a player that actually didn't play in game week 33 due to a calf injury. So it is risky putting him in, but I think he should be back. He was in contention to make the squad for game week 33. If not, then there is a chance to go for someone else, maybe a Braithwaite who is on the bench currently. But for now, let's talk about him. 2 home games again for Wolves, so Arsenal at home, don't expect them to keep a clean sheet in that, and then Bournemouth at home. Bournemouth at home is obviously the game that you're going to be hoping for a clean sheet. But I think without Nori, it's not just clean sheets. And I think you want that from your double game week. If you're on a free hit defenders, you're going to want attacking defenders. Out Nori's got 5 returns already this season, 24 starts. We've seen how attacking he's been. He's been almost playing left wing, right wing. Almost been kind of a winger while some of the big wingers are out. But for me, if he is back, he's going to be in the team. If not, I actually don't mind playing one of the substitutes. Senesi, I've got on the bench. Bournemouth, not the best fixtures, to be totally honest with you. They've got 2 West Midlands teams, Villa and Wolves. Don't really expect a clean sheet in either of them, but Senesi, we know how attacking he is. He's just got 2 assists against Man United, 3 goals, 4 assists this season, and for me, having someone that can get assists, can get goals is crucial in a free hit for a double game week. So potentially you could go for someone like Senesi. Braithwaite also is an option. Like I said, with Everton, 2 home games as well, Forest at home and Liverpool at home. You don't expect them to keep a clean sheet against Liverpool, but Forest at home is a definite chance for a clean sheet for them. So Braithwaite could be an option as well. Overall, I'd probably just prefer Wolves defender. So if Out Nori isn't fit, I probably wouldn't go for another Wolves defender though, to be totally honest with you. I just don't think there's anyone out there that is as attacking. There is obviously argument to maybe go for Doherty, if Matt Doherty that is, if Out Nori isn't fit. But for me, I think I'd probably just go Senesi and hope for attacking returns. So I can't really see a clean sheet from him. So next up, we've got the midfield. Mo Salah is definitely in this team. His form recently, again, this is being filmed before the Crystal Palace game, so hopefully he scores a hat-trick in that game because I do have him captain. But his form recently, in terms of goal scoring wise, he's been doing well, but in terms of performance, I don't think it's been there. So obviously people might not put him in their teams, but for me, it's Mo Salah. I think, as people say, it's very cliche, but form is temporary, class is permanent, and I think that is the case with Mo Salah. And it's not like he hasn't been scoring goals. We don't need them to play well in FPL. We don't need them to put 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 performances. We just need them to put the ball back in the back of the net or pass it to someone that's going to put the ball in the back of the net. So for me, Mo Salah's in this team, no question. 26 goals and 23 starts. And in terms of attacking returns this season, he's definitely upped his game in terms of assists, I feel like. And for me, he is a no-brainer, and he is probably going to be the captaincy choice for this game week. Next up, we'll go with the Arsenal boys. So Saka and Havertz. I've decided to go for double Arsenal kind of attack over double Arsenal defence. It was a tough one, but I think with playing the free hit, you need to go for the upside. A lot of people are going to have double Arsenal defence that are not playing the free hit, so it gives a chance to go for a little bit of a differential, go for someone like Havertz. A lot of people will have Saka already. He is 57% owned, and he's probably going to get to about 65 by the end of the game week. But Wolves away, Chelsea at home, I can see him scoring in both them games. And for me, having both is a nice differential to have. Saka, a lot of people are saying he's had a bad season, but 24 attacking returns in 29 games, obviously on pens as well. Havertz is on fire at the minutes. He's got 16 attacking returns throughout the whole season, but recently he's been on fire. He's only blank in the last 8 game weeks is Man City away, which is kind of understandable, I guess. So for me, going for 2 Arsenal midfielders over 2 Arsenal defenders is a nice differential to have and could gain ground on people that are not playing their free hit. Also gone for 2 Crystal Palace midfielders, which is a bit risky. Don't get me wrong, it is a bit risky, but For me, their fixtures are the best throughout the whole game week. Wolves at West Ham at home and Newcastle at home, 2 home games. Palace have some nice attacking options. They're coming back from injury as well, a few of them. So Eze's been back from injury a little while now. Hasn't really delivered. He's got 2 attacking returns in his last 5 games since he's come back from injury, but hasn't really hit the ground running from injury, I'd say. But his performances have been there. And for me, this double game week, 2 home games, him being on penalties, set pieces, etc., I think he is a player that you should be putting into your free hit team. Also, Elise should be back from injury. Played 16 minutes against Man City. I am expecting him to start against Liverpool in game week 33. Obviously, this has been filmed before that. He's only 0.4% owned, so massive differential. And I think by going him double Crystal Palace midfield, it is a massive, massive differential on the free hit. A lot of people will have Palmer against Arsenal away. Might still have a Spurs mid. Potentially could have someone like Foden. I think it is a risk, don't get me wrong, with City having Brighton away, but I think by having this free hit where you're playing it in this double game week, you have to go for the double game week players. I think you got double the chance of getting a score. Yes, there's going to be players that have single game weeks that are going to get 2 goals, going to get 3 goals, but you just don't know who. Obviously, someone like Haaland is more likely than others. Maybe someone like Foden is more likely than others, but for me, you got to go for the double game week players, and I think Palace and Arsenal double up on midfield is the way to go and the way to be a bit differential to kind of capitalise on that free hit. Let's get on to the forwards. So I have just mentioned Haaland, and I'll mention him again because it was very tricky to leave him out of this free hit team, especially against Brighton, who do concede goals. But I think going for the double game week players is the way to go for. Yes, Haaland could score 2 goals, get 3 bonus, end up on 15 points, about 15 points. Yes, that could be great. But for me, I think the fact that I think it's only about 13 points to be fair for 2 goals and 3 bonus, but someone like Solanke could get 1 goal, which is 4 points, get 2 appearance points twice, that's 8 points, get 1 free bonus, and that's 11 points. So by scoring a goal less, he matches him because of the fact he is getting appearance points. He is getting 2 sets of bonuses if he does get attack and return in the other. So for me, it's always worth going for the double game week player, even against Haaland. And yeah, Solanke, Villa away, Wolves away. Again, not the easiest fixtures, 2 tough away games, but I think they both, I don't want to say concede goals because I do have a Wolves defender in this draft, but I think they both can concede goals. I think Villa, they were very good at home, but they have been conceding goals, and Bournemouth have been scoring goals as well. And Solanke's been a massive, massive part of that. He's just got 1 against Man United. They've scored 2 in that game. Before that, they played Luton. They scored 3 against Luton in 28, or 4 against Luton in 28, 2 against Sheffield United, 2 against Burnley. So they are scoring goals, and Solanke's on 13 goals this season in 32 starts and 3 assists as well. On pens, I think it's a no-brainer to have him in the team. I think he's just so consistent this season. On the other hand, Darwin Núñez, I've got him in the team, and I have him in my real team as well. It is risky, to be totally honest with you. This season, 11 goals, 11 assists in 20 starts, which is very, very good. I just think he'll be rested one of the games, to be totally honest with you. There is always a chance he won't be, don't get me wrong, because the fixtures for Liverpool are Sunday to Wednesday. So there is a little bit of a gap, but for me, I actually do think he's going to be rested one game, but I can't really see a better option out there to go for. I think any Liverpool mid forward, apart from Salah, will be rested. So someone like Diaz, I think, will be rested one of the games. Darwin will be rested, and then Gakpo, Jota will come in place of them. So there is always a risk. You could go for double Liverpool defence, but again, you don't. There's not really another player to go for. So for me, I have gone for Darwin because I think he'll get the most minutes. I think he'll get at least 110, 120 minutes, and for me, that's good enough to do damage. So that's why I've gone for him. Cunha's on the bench. it's hard not to put him in the starting 11 after scoring 2 goals in game week 33. This season, 11 goals, 6 assists. He's kind of gone under the radar, to be honest. He hasn't really been talked about compared to the likes of, say, Solanke and Watkins, because obviously they're doing way better than him, but it's not that far off to not even have a conversation about Cunha. And he's so clinical, he's such a good finisher. Again, Wolves' fixtures, 2 home games, albeit one against Arsenal, a very good defensive team, and then Bournemouth at home as well, which you do expect Wolves to score goals in that game. Cunha, it is a chance for him to maybe be in the starting 11 over Darwin, but for me, you got to have 3 Liverpool players in a Liverpool double game week. So that's the reason I've gone for them. But Cunha maybe over Elise, if he doesn't get minutes against Liverpool, could be an option. But overall, I think I'm going to go for this starting 11. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Are you playing your free hit? Let me know. Also, have I missed any players out? Should I be putting single game week players in here? Am I going to be, I guess, punished by Haaland? Let me know in the comment section below, and make sure you check out my transfer for this video. Good luck for the game week.